Tape number 5, June 7th, 1995, interview with Martin Winter. Do you feel that the way that you raised your children was affected by the experiences that you went through?
Very tough question. I tried not to. Uh, in the beginning, I did not want to talk about it for a long, long time. Although my son Michael, my oldest, probably heard more about it from me, from his classmates or whatever. I told him a lot more probably than the others. Uh, but of course by now he's very well versed. So the rest of them too. It's something that I would want my kids to know now. I have a complete different view of it. I want my kids to know what the Jewish people went through during the war. It's probably a lot bigger than the Jews leaving Egypt, as far as I'm concerned. It's, it's, you have a Haggadah for the Jews leaving Egypt. I would like to see a Haggadah for the Holocaust because it's unbelievable. And maybe in 100 years from now, nobody will believe us that there was a Holocaust. Already there's a movement to deny. I can't believe that there's a movement right now that denies the existence of the Holocaust. I was there, I know, and nobody's going to tell me any different. And so I want to bear witness. I want to be a witness and tell the future generations. And of course my kids, I want my kids to tell their kids. In 100 years from now, I want to get up and feel that everybody still knows, because 6 million, that was 1/3 of the Jewish population. No country in the world has ever lost 1/3 of their people. That is something that should not be forgotten. It should always be in the memories of everybody, not only Jews, Gentiles alike, the inhumanity to men that happened. The Germans should never, never forget. We can forget, but we cannot forgive. This was something that, as long as in the history of the world, I don't think that there was such beastly treatment of human beings as it happened during this last war. And for what reason? Just because they were Jews? I still don't understand. I don't understand. Maybe I'm the lucky one that it happened to me when I was a kid, didn't understand that much, didn't feel that much. But imagine, at my age now, I have my own kids. Would I be able to give up my kids to an oven? Would I be able to see my little ones killed in front of me? How could I live? How could I go on? So, in a way, I probably was the lucky guy to say I didn't understand that much or didn't feel that much, you know? But I feel a lot more today, and for me, to tell my story, it gets harder and harder because I feel the pain more. I feel a lot more pain today than I ever felt before. At one time I never wanted to talk about it, but I feel now that I'm getting older, getting better looking, I like to talk about it. I like as many people to know exactly the history of what happened to the Jews during World War II. And now I'm looking forward to the future, to see my kids grow. I'm very happy with my kids. Everyone is successful and very good human beings, every one of them. You feel humanity from them, and that's very rewarding to me. And to my wife also. We both brought him up as best as we could, and it worked out pretty good. We're very happy with him. I think we're going to keep him.
Thank you.
Thank you. This here is like a magazine, or this is the title page of the American authorities in Germany that gave out to the towns to show the brutality that the Germans committed. And inside, I'd like to show you.
What does KZ mean?
KZ means concentration camp in Germany, Konzentrationslager, which is the same as concentration camp, only it's in German. It was all printed in German. It's actually what it says on the bottom here is sort of an identification for this magazine. It says herausgegeben, which means it was given by the American authorities to the German people of the towns that the camps were involved. And inside you will see the pictures of all the brutal, terrible things that was happening in their own towns. And perhaps they say that they didn't know, but I believe that they knew exactly what was happening. And I'd like to show you one. You see the picture here is where the the British military instructing the Germans to bury the dead, the skeletons. You can see this man there on the right is an Oberscharführer, probably a big shot about a week before that, but now he's burying all these corpses, and there were plenty of them. Here's an article, very interesting. Here's a picture also of myself and my Good Samaritan, with whom I'll never forget. I brought him a watch when we first reunited in the United States. He was the one that really took care of me right after the war when I weighed maybe 50 pounds or less, and fed me and took care of me, and I shall never forget him. I gave him a beautiful watch and inscribed it to my best friend, and he certainly deserved it. Here's a picture of my dear friend Morris Goldfire. We survived the Auschwitz together and the other camp, Friedland. Unfortunately, I don't have the picture of his brother that passed away, that was murdered by the Nazis after the war, right after the war. But Morris is always a dear friend to me, and we see each other every May 8th, because that was the day of the liberation.
What happened to his brother?
His brother was murdered in Regensburg. Very unfortunate, at the age of 16. They found him under a bale of hay, choked to death, and they never found the killers. Also, I would like to mention that Morris Goldfire, that his brother was buried in Regensburg, but when Morris came here to the United States, he made sure that he took his brother out of Germany and reburied him in Israel. That was a beautiful thing to do. This picture shows me in the uniform, and this motorcycle was given to me by the American military, especially my friend saw to it, the mess sergeant, and I certainly enjoyed driving and showing off my uniform, something that I would never believe would ever happen to me. So there you can see I look very good in this uniform. Thank you. Here's a picture of the Marina Marlin boat that I came in September 16. And you can see me right in front, the handsome guy on the right next to this beautiful girl. And all these other children or kids. We all went to the same hotel, you may call it. It wasn't a hotel, it was an orphanage, actually, at the time. And very, very happy to be in the United States.
When did you arrive in the U.S.?
September 16, 1946.
You were saying something.
You can see the jacket was an American jacket. The tie was a French tie. The shirt, I believe, I bought in Germany. I just wanted to look very good coming into the States. Perhaps next stop, Hollywood. You never know. Here you see a picture of a lot of kids that came out from the same orphanage, and a lot of them that came with me on the same boat. And this is a stage on 2nd Avenue. It was a Jewish theater. And as I understand now and understood it before, that all these actors and actresses were very, very famous. I didn't know them at the time, and I don't even know them now. But we had a very, very good time. And after that, we went out to a good restaurant. This photo is my own photo. I'm 17 years old, and I treated myself to a color picture. I never paid so much money as I did for this picture. They saw me coming. But I enjoyed that picture because I just look good in it. That's one way of saying. Here's a shot of myself, believe it or not. I appeared on CBS Amateur Hour, Ted Mack, and didn't feel too good that night, and I could probably finish the song, but Ted Mack gave me the gong. I have the distinction of getting the gong, and I kept on singing. It turned out to be very good because I went on to win 3 times, and I was the top winner.
And what year was that?
That was, I believe, in 1955. 1956, pardon me.
And you won?
I won the right to go to the finals, but I didn't go to the finals. I was too busy. And there wasn't that much money involved in it anyway. Here's a photo of my lovely family. You see from left to right, you'll see my son above, Bruce, my daughter-in-law, Alyssa, my beautiful little baby, Jordan, my grandchild, my oldest son, Michael, my newest son-in-law, James, my lovely daughter, Valerie, myself, my sweet wife, my grandson, Harrison, my son, Jeff, his wife, Linda, and my grandchild, Lucas.
When was this photo taken?
This is 2 years ago. That was 1993. My 2 grandsons, the oldest grandsons, are Lucas and Harrison, from Jeffrey and Linda, their parents. Lovely, lovely kids. Just adore them. Here's my only granddaughter. Love her to pieces, Jordan. She's the daughter of my oldest son, Michael and Alyssa. And she's just adorable, ready to eat her up every time I see her. Here's a set of twins from my oldest son, Michael. Travis on the left, 2.5 years old, and Malcolm, same age. They are twins, destroyers, but lovely, lovely, lovely. We just had them this weekend and couldn't get enough of them. Here's, you see, the very latest edition, Jackson Reed, son of my lovely daughter and my loving son-in-law, James, 1 week old. We hope him to grow up to be the president, Jackson.
Hey, Martin, I'd like you to introduce your lovely family members here, starting with your wife.
It's my wife of 41 years, helping me out. 41 years, my wife Charlotte, and my good-looking son here on my left.
You can look at them if you want, that's okay. You're probably tired of looking at me.
Do I have to tell his age?
He can tell that for himself if he wants.
He's-
Would you like to start out, actually, and talk about...
34.
34. Okay. What it means to you that your dad did this tape today?
This was something that was very important to us. My brothers and my sister and I have been encouraging my father to speak about his experiences as much as possible, both for his own for his own health reasons, to have a clear mind and clear conscience of everything that he's been through in his past, and also to help teach youngsters today about what he went through, what other people went through, and what can happen when people don't take action, and what can happen when people let others run with, run with negative feelings towards people, with prejudices, with all kinds of biases. And we're very proud of him.
Thank you. This is a Harvard graduate. It's not just plain education.
And I'm very happy that he did this tape. I think each one of our children should have one, which they already do, and to never forget.
I mean, you're not a survivor.
No.
So what has
She-
living been with a survivor
She is a
been
survivor.
like?
From me,
Living with
from me,
him.
from
Living
being with
with
me,
him.
she's a survivor.
It's the best years of my life.
I'll go on. A little more.
I'll start crying.
That's enough, sweetheart. You're doing fine.
Okay.
You
These
did
things
enough crying
affect
here.
me.
She's a sweetheart.
Well, you have a lovely family.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.